Today's show is one you don't want to miss. We have one of the original Tuskegee Airmen, a hot band whose roots are here in Metro Detroit, and I'm going to take you inside the batting cage where I'm going to try to hit a few balls. I'm your host, Sharon Hebert. And this is Spec's profile. I'm here in Metamora Township at Fire Department Station 8 in Lapeer County, where men and women selflessly put their lives on the line every day to ensure our safety. This particular firehouse has history. It's been in existence since 1979. However, Metamora Township's Fire Department has been around for 150 years, which leads to our first story for today's show. I had the chance to speak with Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Jefferson, who gave us a first-hand history lesson. The National Museum of the Tuskegee Airmen is located on West Jefferson Avenue and Livernois at the historic Fort Wayne in Detroit. The museum that honors the brave African-American men and women that served in the armed forces during World War II is housed at this facility. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Jefferson fills us in with the details about the museum.
This is the Tuskegee Airmen National Museum. It depicts the action of approximately 25 or 30,000 blacks in World War II in the Army Air Corps. Notice that there were, as we said before, 145 to 150,000 blacks in the armed forces, black Americans serving this country in World War II. This is the culmination of the Tuskegee Airmen exhibit.
Many Detroiters are part of the Tuskegee Airmen organization. Before 1940, African Americans were not allowed to fly aircraft for the United States military. Civil rights organizations pressured the United States government to permit African Americans to join the armed forces. In response to pressuring the government, an all-African American fighter squadron based in Tuskegee, Alabama was formed. It became known as the Tuskegee Airmen. The Tuskegee Airmen triumphed over segregation and prejudice to become the most highly respected aircraft fighter pilots in World War II. The actual aircraft the Tuskegee Airmen used for flight training is housed at Detroit City Airport, but within the museum you will find photos of African American pilots, as well as uniforms worn by the men and women. There are many other historical artifacts, including wall paintings and other photos of influential African servicemen and women. Hours of operation for the museum are Tuesday to Sunday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. from April to October. The address is the historic Fort Wayne, 6325 West Jefferson Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, 48209. The phone number is 313-843-8849, or check out the website at www.tuskegeeairmen.com. The brave African-American men and women that proudly served in World War II in the armed forces will never be forgotten because of this museum. From the National Museum of the Tuskegee Airmen in Detroit, Michigan, for Spec's Howard School of Broadcast Arts, I'm Sharon Hebert. Who said history could only be found in a book? Go check out the historic Fort Wayne, where learning can be fun. Up next is the hit music band Joyride. You don't want to touch that dial. We'll be right back. Here they come now. Can you tell us, what was it like to ride on an elevator with a black man?
Are you kidding me?
Miss, tell us what it was like to drink from the same drinking fountain as that white man.
Are you serious?
Excuse me, hi. Could you tell the viewing audience at home what it's gonna be like not to sit in the back of the bus?
What? Equality should no longer have to be breaking news.
2009, what the back of the bus? You get in the back.
For more information on how to prevent racism, log on to www.aclu.org.
The firefighters here often find themselves waiting on the next call to come in and have to find ways to keep entertained. However, your wait is over. Let the party begin.
I'm here at Temple Israel in West Bloomfield, where a local Detroit band is set to be the main entertainment at this high-class wedding event. Joyride is one of the few bands in the area that's dedicated to pushing the standards of their performances. This makes each show look and sound effortless, regardless of the event. We talked to Gary Husted, the founder of the band, who told us the history and motivation behind Joyride.
I put this band together about 15 years ago specifically to do weddings. So we come together and do the weddings, and that's pretty much it. We play all genres of music, from the old classics, Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole, all the way to neo, everything in between, Motown, disco, top 40, R&B.
The band arrives 3 hours prior to the scheduled time the guests will be coming into the room, and that leaves just enough time for setup of all their equipment. The band's setup is a smaller scale of what you'd see at a concert. Their equipment includes a 25-foot truss for hanging intelligent computer-controlled lighting, as well as their main speakers, backlighting, 7 monitors, a rack full of audio processors, a 24-channel mixer, 7 amplifiers, 5 wireless microphones, 2 computers to control it all from, and someone who hopefully knows what they're doing to run it all. Joyride is a 9-piece ensemble that appeals to a broad age range. Their ability to please even the most discriminating audience, regardless of age, has made Joyride one of the most requested bands around. Their talent and versatility puts this band in a class all of their own. Complete with high-energy dance steps, the band performs powerful renditions of the classics, Motown hits, many 50s and 60s favorites, as well as disco, top 40, and all the current hip-hop hits. Whatever the function, Joyride will provide an entertaining and unique experience for all. When it's all said and done and their shows get underway, here's what you can expect to see and hear. So whether you're into Motown or the current hip-hop hits, Joyride is sure to please every listening audience. From West Bloomfield at Temple Israel, for Specs Howard School of Broadcast Arts, Sharon Hebert reporting. For more information on the Joyride Band, log on to www.joyrideband.com or call Gary Husted at 810-656-1126. And remember, life is a joyride.